Tom, this notion, and we've started to hear this more and more, and we'll probably have a better sense, obviously, Tuesday after the 1,300 delegates that are up for grabs there are spoken for. But this idea that perhaps Bernie Sanders is moving the goalposts a bit when it comes to delegates and what could go down at the convention in Milwaukee. What say you to that?
Well, I will say that Bernie is moving the goalposts. This is what people need to remember. The Democratic Party has a party. The party decides its nominee. The public doesn't really decide the nominee. The public gets to vote for President of the United States, but people who are active in the party, who participate in the party, they decide the nominee. Superdelegates are very influential in the party. Also, delegates are very influential. And just because you're a pledged delegate for Bernie Sanders or a pledged delegate for Joe Biden doesn't mean when you get to the convention floor that you'll stay a delegate for Biden or Sanders. That's a process. Bernie got to understand that process, and it's a real selective and detailed process.
Hey, it's Tim Time, back with news and politics. In this video, we're going to talk about the Democrats' rigged primary. So right now, the primaries, as we know, is where the basically trying to be the Democrat nominees. We have Bernie Sanders, we have Joe Biden, we have Buttigieg. We have these candidates who want to be the Democratic nominee. Now, if you just watched that clip of that video I just sent before this video, if you just watched the clip before this video, you can hear on NSBC, one of the liberal cable news networks, say that the party picks the nominee. Now, it's important to understand that. Why would the party pick the nominee? You know, you hear Democrats talk so much about what? Democracy, the Constitution. They talk all day about the Constitution, democracy, and how we need to protect freedom and the people. But then why does the establishment, why is the party picking the nominee? The people should pick the nominee. And I'm going to tell you why. So with Republicans, it goes like this. If you win the state in the primaries, you get all the delegates. Democrats have the rules set up where if you win the state, you get a portion of the delegates. And out of all the 50 states, there's, I think, 3,000 delegates in total. So for a Democratic nominee, the Democratic primary, to become the nominee, he has to get, I think, like a third of that, like 960, something like that. But here's the problem. They got like 9 different candidates up there. So what happens is all of the delegates get split. Because right now we have a primary coming up, I think it's tomorrow, North Carolina. And I believe Joe Biden's winning that. So Joe Biden's going to get some delegates, and then second, Bernie Sanders will get some delegates. If after Super Tuesday, and if they get to the Democratic convention, and none of the candidates have 960 delegates, the establishment is going to pick their own nominee. And to me, that's rigged. And what kind of system is that? And I'm going to tell you why. The Democrats think you're too stupid. You, the voter, you, the Democrat, to pick the own nominee. They think you're too stupid. So that's why they set up this system. That's why they have these rules. They think you're too sick. The average person's too dumb. And they did that. The Democrats wanted Bernie Sanders. And they rigged it last election for who? For Hillary Clinton. And they're going to do it again. They want Bernie Sanders. Now, I understand the establishment. I understand the logic. Bernie Sanders would get creamed to get Trump. We get creamed in a primary election because Americans are just not there with socialism. You know, most Americans get health care through their job, and they're not willing to give up their health care through their job just to get the government health care. Think about it. The government has messed up student loans, you know, making it where anybody can study anything, go to college forever, and rack up $100,000 debt. And basically, people are graduating with mortgages, and it's ruining their life. So the government now wants to control your health care. And the Democrats want to control your health care because they think you're too stupid to pick your own health care. You need me. You need the Democrats for coronavirus. You need the Democrats for everything. They want this big, huge government to tell you about the environment and what you can drink and eat. You know. So it's a rigged system, and that's what they're gonna have. And me being a Republican, I don't like how Democrats are such hypocrites. They say one thing about people in democracy and the vote, but yet the establishment makes these ridiculous rules where they can get to pick the nominee. And that's what they're going to do. And that's why the Democrat Party it's a real divide in it. Because the Bernie supporters know the establishment don't like Bernie. And Democrats, they know this. A lot of them like Bernie, and think about Bernie. He gets in front of people and says, legalize weed and give it to minorities, make minorities legal drug dealers. So I'm like, what? And then healthcare, free education, free childcare from 3. So all this stuff he's giving away. So that every person sits back and go, wow, okay, I get free this, free that. Sign me up. But most Americans, especially the baby boomer, most grown adults understand that you're giving up your right to pick your own health care. What if you don't want health care? What if you're 21 and you're a stud and you work out and you don't want to pay into this pot? You see, that's a civil liberty. And I get sometimes the government does need to make rules. Like, as a law, I got to wear a seatbelt because they want to protect me. But sometimes they go too far. But what I want to get back in this video is about how Democrat whole primary is rigged and how at the Democratic convention, they're going to pick whoever they want. And people are just too stupid to realize that. And the thing about people, they will vote Democrat no matter who it is. So that's where Democrats are. They'll vote for whoever they serve up. And they're going to serve up somebody. So people are kind of wasting their time. You think about it, the way it is. If you go out in South Carolina or this Tuesday, March 3rd, Super Tuesday, if you go out and vote, and since they're going to keep sharing up the delegates. Now, another thing, if a few candidates drop out of the Democrat primary, it gets a lot easier for Bernie or Joe to get the delegates where they don't have to pick, the Savage won't get to pick the nominee. So, let me know what you think about this rigged system. And I'm exposing a lot of people who don't know this, and it's important you understand this, that their system, they want to pick the nominee, they want to decide who Democrats are going to vote for, and they want to take away your health care, and all this radical change they want.